Welcome to the Violet Flame YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. We would be very grateful. And now, let's dive into the amazing world where we are just guests. I will tell you a story that happened to everyone. Let's go. No stress. Probably. There are no people who have never been stuck in stress. We all experience this feeling, but not everyone tries to cope with it. Let's figure it out. Stress is a state of physical or mental tension that arises in response to a threat, both real and imagined. Stress can be caused by various factors such as overwork, conflicts at work or in personal life, unexpected changes in life, financial difficulties, etc. It can manifest as anxiety, irritability, fatigue, lack of sleep, as well as various physical symptoms, such as headaches, painful sensations in the stomach, high blood pressure, and much more. A real threat needs to be resolved, and an imaginary one needs to be removed. It seems simple with this stress, but in reality, it's not quite like that. Once an experiment was conducted. A sheep was put in a cage next to a cage in which a wolf sat, and the sheep died a month later from stress. While the wolf just sat in its cage, it was fed, it wasn't hungry. It didn't pounce on the sheep's cage. He couldn't harm her in any way. The sheep survived in such an environment for only a month. She killed herself with stress. If a person is put next to a wolf, he will not survive for long either, because he will worry and feel that danger is nearby. But we forget about the main thing. This danger cannot reach us in any way. It is fenced off from us. We are protected, but our mind is not enough. We will still worry that danger is behind the wire fence. We see it. Spheres of influence over the masses, including news, are built on this principle. Anxiety manifests itself as a large number of thoughts where you think a lot, digest, and everything goes round in circles. It's one thing when you're thinking specifically about yourself and your actions, but it's a completely different thing when thoughts are imposed on you. You need to immediately stop this flow. The first thing you need to do is to identify when thoughts take over you and your personality. Then try to stop this mental race. You will immediately realize that it is very difficult to stop it. You cannot stop it. It rushes like a locomotive at full speed. In other words, this is a long-standing habit that is reinforced by anxiety. It is anxiety that always accompanies stress. You need to shift your focus away from the epicenter of anxiety. A sheep is not a human. It cannot distract itself. It needs the fact of stress absence. It cannot help but look at the wolf and think about the green lawn. That is why the sheep only lasted a month and then died. Interestingly, upon autopsy, serious changes in the internal organs were found. This is most likely due to excessive secretion of stress hormones, which affected the functioning of the gastrointestinal tract. What to do about it? Switch to the present. The first thing to understand is that stress is a protective reaction of the body, and experiencing stress from time to time is normal. but it's another thing to live in this state for a long time. A person should experience a state of stress no longer than they can stand under a cold shower. Hello, walruses, we're not talking about you right now. You need to identify the main causes of stress for you. If it's the news background, that everyone is doomed and the end is inevitable, then stay away from them completely. You don't need to boil in the element that you can't cope with. One of the most effective ways to get rid of stress is relaxation practices such as meditation, deep breathing, yoga, or just spending time in nature. Rest, sports, regular walks, and proper nutrition can also help you deal with stress. In general, anything that shifts your focus. I agree that it's hard to get rid of a habit that has been cultivated for years all at once. Give yourself time, but also track your intermediate successes. Don't be too condescending to yourself, to the point where all attempts to get rid of what you plan will be in vain. Prolonged stress is another destructive program, and as you remember, they need to be removed from your life in the first place. Don't tolerate it. Be attentive to yourself. The end. Thank you for listening. We would be grateful if you leave a comment about the story you heard. Meanwhile, enjoy the meditative music. See you on our channel.